Greg, thank you for joining us.
Lori, it's good to be here.
Lyle and Eric Menendez, their trials in the 90s packed with tabloid details for the horrific murders of their parents. Now they're back on TV thanks to Netflix, a documentary there, and family members coming forward wanting them released from prison. So the first trial, way back then, Greg, ended in a hung jury. They were deadlocked. The second one had some issues as well, but it led to their conviction. So now, could they face a new trial?
Well, some explosive new evidence has come forward in the Menendez case, which captivated the country 30 years ago based on the graphic, violent murder of their parents. The first trial, they used the abuse excuse defense. They said they were sexually molested and raped for years by their father, Jose. They analogized it to the battered spouse syndrome defense. The judge let it go. A hung jury, a lot of media outpouring against the judge and the prosecutor. Retrial, they changed the rules, and that's the last thing you want as a defense lawyer. The judge disallowed the sexual abuse defense, allowed a statement that they made to their psychiatrist that was ruled a confession based on an apparent threat by one of the boys, and there was a conviction.
These two were absolutely vilified, and now the tables have turned in a very big way.
You know, it's amazing how the media helped drive the train and convict him in the first one. Now, 30 years later, it's totally different. The media now with the Netflix documentary has now vilified their father, Jose, and has now victimized the Menendez brothers by saying maybe they were the ones that were the true victims in this case.
Maybe two new pieces of evidence, not to mention family members coming forward saying, we didn't know the extent of this abuse back then.
Which is amazing because everybody in America knew about it.
Yeah.
But when you have exhausted all your appeals, which the Menendez have done years ago, the only way to get back in court is if there is newly discovered evidence or evidence that wasn't in the record. A letter written to a cousin by one of the Menendez brothers sent 8 months before the murders detailed the abuse and its impact on their mental state. Also, a high-profile member of a boy band has come forward, Menudo, has come forward and saying that he was molested by Jose, who was a high-profile record executive at RCA.
Is that enough? Is that enough to get a new trial? What do you think is going to happen?
If the DA thinks so, because it's interesting, the media vilified these people, and now based on the media coverage, we're all taking a new look. But Lori, I don't know that the facts have changed so much as society has changed.
Yes.
They were the pioneers in saying, I was molested, that's what happened. We weren't used to hearing that in courtrooms in America, in Tennessee, and now it's all too frequent and often. But I think the fact that you saw the DA behind that podium giving this serious consideration is a good sign.
All right, we'll be watching. Thank you, Greg.
Thank you, Lori and Greg. Now, if you have a legal question, you can send it to AskIsaacs@wate.com. And remember, we talk with Greg every Wednesday, 5:30, right here on Channel 6 on television. For a deeper conversation, you can tune into our webpage, WATE.com, at 2:30.